Hello boss babes and bosses out there. So in this video, I'm gonna talk more about how to create a detailed CV for you aspiring social media managers. Kasi parati kung nababasa sa mga comments nyo and messages nyo, ano yung ilalagay nyo sa CV if wala pa naman kayong experience as a social media manager. So yan yung itatakal natin for this video. So I really hope natapos na kayo sa paggawa ng content, sa pag-schedule ng content, sa pag-publish, and even sa paggawa ng portfolio para makaproceed na kayo dito sa creating your detailed CV talaga. Kung hindi nyo pa alam kung ano yung difference between resume and yung CV, mayroon akong dalawang videos yan and you can watch it here. After this one, you can check those two videos out. The reason why I would say na mas maganda na ang isubmit nyo is CV talaga, hindi siya resume, it's because since you are still an aspiring social media manager, diba sa CV, the more na detailed yung i-send natin, kahit 1 or 2 experiences lang yung malagay, then I guess that would be so helpful na para makita ni client kung ano talaga yung kaya niyong magawa sa social media accounts nila. So the first thing that you really need to put sa CV nyo is yung header. So ilagay nyo na malaki yung name nyo and then sa baba maliit siya na text lang, parang subtitle. The title would be your name and then the subtitle would be your position. And then for the position, if you are currently an accountant right now and lahat ng mga experiences mo pang-accounting talaga pero you want to shift to social media na, huwag nyo ilagay na accountant. Ang ilagay nyo is you are really a social media manager as your position. Yan yung always na ina-ask sa akin, ano daw yung ilagay sa position since wala pa silang experience talaga as a social media manager and they want to shift. So sa CV daw, ano ba daw yung ilagay nila? So again, ang ilagay nyo as a social media manager and hindi yung kung ano talaga yung current job role mo sa work mo ngayon. The next one would be your contact information. So usually ang ilalagay nyo na contact information is yung contact number nyo, of course, your email address. For the location, you can also put that as well. Pero hindi necessary na super detailed talaga na house address or home address niyo, no? Kung from Davao City, you can just put Davao City, Philippines, something like that. If updated yung LinkedIn nyo, then that would be great as well. Ilagay nyo yung LinkedIn profile nyo. Kung gumagawa din kayo ng content na about social media or about your work sa other platforms like maybe YouTube, you can also include that one sa parang contact information. Ang pinaka-importante talaga kasi usually ang mga employers na ngayon, they are also checking your LinkedIn account, so make sure na naka-update yon. So if your LinkedIn account is not yet updated, you can check out these 2 videos here. Ginawa yan ni BossedUp na tutorial para sa atin para ma-optimize natin yung LinkedIn profile. For the third item ilalagay nyo sa CV nyo is yung objective. So yung objective, ito yung concise and compelling summary na i-highlight nyo doon kung ano yung experience nyo working as a social media manager and ano yung skills nyo na pwedeng ibigay sa client as a social media manager. Short summary lang siya. Hindi talaga siya na ilang paragraphs. So, yeah, siguro around mga 2 to 3 or 4 sentences would be enough na for the objectives. Sometimes nga 1 or 2. Kaya ba ng 1? Sometimes nga 2 or 3 lang would be enough already. So, yeah. So, the next item would be the skills, tools, and software. You can separate the soft skills and the hard skills. Pero pwede nyo na siyang isang list na lang lahat ng skills. Combination of hard and soft skills na yan. If you are confused, what is the difference between the hard skills and soft skills? Yung hard skills, ito yung more on technical talaga when it comes to the work. Like, kung paano siya gawin, literally. And then yung soft skill, it's more on your communication, your negotiation skills, yung mga ganun. So, pwede nyo na siyang, I would say, i-combine lahat sa column na skills lang. But again, if you would like to really separate the two, that would be okay as well. And then, sa kabilang gilid, pwede nyo ilagay doon yung mga tools and softwares na ginagamit nyo as a social media manager. I know na madaming software yung ginagamit as a social media manager, no? Pero ang ilagay nyo lang sa list yung common and always nyo talagang ginagamit and needed talaga for you to do the work. Yun lang yung ilagay nyo. So, sa next section naman, ito yung projects and campaigns. Again, if you're thinking na as what you have said, Sui, na we are just still starting and we are just still aspiring to become a social media manager, ano ba yung mga projects na ilalagay namin? Ano ba yung mga campaign na ilalagay namin? So, don't worry kasi if merong someone na magpagawa sa'yo ng yung mga per project lang ba, like let's say magpagawa lang ng 5 content lang for their social media, you can put that one sa mga per project lang. And then, yung mga campaigns then, so for example, merong business owner, even local or international, tapos sinali kayo, maybe just to moderate the comments and then inboxes, yung mga like being a community manager sa social media accounts nila while they are launching something, like launching an event, launching products, or maybe launching a service or whatnot, yung mga ganun. Pwede nyo din yang ilagay as campaign. Kahit, let's say, hinire lang kayo for 5 days kasi super busy nila. Kung mayroong nagpagawa ng, let's say, banner, or maybe nagpagawa ng graphics sa social media nila, you can put that one sa projects. And maglagay lang kayo ng quick description about the project and then ano yung objectives, bakit kayo pinagawa nun, and ano yung outcome ng, let's say, campaign, or ano yung outcome ng ginawa niyo na project for them. So, kung wala pa talaga, let's say, sabihin nyo, so, ito lang talaga yung na-try namin, or ito lang talaga yung experience naman when it comes to social media, your e-course lang. Huwag niyo munang isali yung projects and campaigns kung wala pa kayong malagay. So, after that, the next section naman would be your work experience. Yeah, ito talaga yung struggle na pag magsa-start pa kasi parang wala kang ilalagay na details or work experience mo as a social media manager. I got you guys kasi that's the reason why I really want you to get beta client or test client for this part here para mayroon kayong mailagay. Pero again, I know some of you are just handling your own social media accounts and hindi kayo nakakita ng beta clients or test clients. That's okay kasi pwede mo naman ding ilagay yan as your experience. First, ilagay nyo lang kung ano yung role nyo or job title, and then sa baba yung company mo. For example, for me, BossedUp PH, and then the location, and then the employment details. And then for the description I would highlight or I would say talaga na dapat detailed yung ilalagay nyo sa description kasi napansin ko pag magsasend ako ng CV sa mga employers, not me sa mga VA ko, diba? I have an agency and naghahanap ako ng projects for them. Pag magsasend ako ng CV, ina-ask talaga ng employer na dapat detailed yung job description kung ano yung ginagawa nila for a certain company. Did you get what I mean? Like, it's so important na makita doon kung ano yung mga task na ginagawa mo for that company. So, meron akong mga samples dyan na nakalagay, but make sure you change it Huwag niyong i-copy lahat. Just make sure na dapat tama yan sa na-experience niyo talaga in handling your own account or your task clients. So, kahit 1 or 2 work experiences lang yung ilagay nyo dyan, that would be okay as long as super the same siya na kind of work. Kung meron kayong ibang experience, like let's say, if you are applying for a social media manager, tapos meron kayong experience when it comes to accounting, let's say, yung previous work mo is nurse ka or something like that, hindi na siya medyo necessary talaga na ilagay. It's because hindi sila related ba? And after that, certificates na yung section na susunod. Certificates, awards, achievements, yung mga ganun. The same din, huwag nyo na ding ilagay ang mga natanggap nyo na certificates na hindi naman siya related when it comes to social media. Pero when it comes to digital marketing, like meron kayong na-receive na certificate as a digital marketer, pwede mo yan siyang ilagay. Pero if meron kayong na-receive na certificate ng Red Cross, parang way out na siya, diba? So, huwag nyo nang isali unless if your target market is really nasa medical industry. Kasi meron ding mga social media managers na ang target talaga nila is yung mga doctors lang. Mga doctors yung gusto nilang i-manage na social media. Kasi within sa work experience nila before, if they are a nurse, something like that. Parang common sense lang if you can see that this certificate is hindi siya related sa social media, then wag mo na lang isali. If you are part of the paid group ng BossedUp PH, we can give you a certificate if you completed the whole challenge. Kung meron kayong mga mentors na nagtuturo ng mga for free, try to ask them if they can give certificates sa inyo, no? Para pwede nyong malagay part doon na section. If meron din kayong certificate as a virtual assistant, I would say pwede siya kasi yung virtual assistance is broad siya ba? So, pwede nyong ilagay if meron kayo. The next one would be the reference section. This is so important kasi some of the clients would really want to contact someone. Magtanong sila ba if okay ba yung work mo or ano yung work ethics mo, something like that. They just sometimes maybe want to try to make sure yung parang identity mo, something like that. So, I would say you should put a name talaga doon. Yung mga mentors nyo, for sure. Kung wala pa kayong mga mentors, maghanap kayo ng mentor para meron kayong malagay sa reference, no? So again, if you are part of the group, then you can always put my name there. Kasi chine-check ko yung work nyo, so malalaman ko talaga if you're doing well, di ba? If you are really taking action, di ba? So, meron akong mabigay na feedback, and for sure, I will really put a good feedback. Kasi, so far naman, sa mga na-check ko sa paid group natin, you are all doing good, and yeah, dyan siya at least 2 or 3 reference. Pero kung wala pa talaga kayong makita na ilagay sa reference, then I would say, lagyan na lang siya ng available upon request. Pero mas maganda sana kung meron na talaga kayong name na ilagay dyan para di na necessary na mag-converse pa kayo ni client if they can ask for a reference, diba? So, dito sa last part, kung meron na kayong maraming na-handle na social media, kahit anong mga social media yung mga na-handle nyo and maganda yung results, you can showcase that one here sa baba. Pero kung wala pa, again, you can just skip this part here. And then dito naman sa baba na portfolio, dito nyo ililink yung ginawa nyo sa last lesson natin, which is creating a portfolio. Diyan nyo siya ilink so that when they click it, yun yung ma-open. Did you get what I mean? So, when you are going to save this one as a PDF para pwede nilang maklik ang link. Overall, no, ang pinaka-main lang talaga dito is yung work experience nyo dapat super in line as a social media manager. Kung meron kayong work experience as a digital marketing manager or you are also a VA, let's say, meron din kayong experience when it comes to lead generation, when it comes to graphic designing, you can also put that one. Video editing, you can also put that one. Pero kung mga project lang, doon yun siya ilagay sa itaas. Kasi iba yung parang per project lang or per campaign. Kasi iba din yung work experience. So, yeah. Again, if you are still confused kung ano yung ilalagay, just drop a comment below so that we can address that one. And then for the assignment sa video na ito, super clear na. Gagawa kayo ng CV. So, yeah. Create a CV and then upload it sa folder natin. Diba? Pinagawa ko kayo ng folder. Upload nyo doon and then ilagay nyo yung link ng Google Drive inside sa Facebook group natin. So if you would like to follow this series, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button down below so that you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to follow us and like our Facebook page at BossedUp PH. Follow me sa Instagram at Brixuy and at BossedUp PH. See you on our next challenge. Bye!